This is the alto video for the first movement, the Kyrie Alto of the Nelson Mass. And what I'm going to do is to play the alto line all the way through. So I'm not going to play the introduction, for example. Play the alto line all the way through and remind you of a few things from rehearsal. And then you can go to the full video where I play all the way through the movement to sing with that. So one or two things to say before we do the first entry at A. We did some work on this first vowel of Kyrie, so of pushing that vowel forward, not a wide E vowel, but Kyrie, just push it forward a little bit. And working on this rhythm, Kyrie eleison. So a lot of the time Haydn gives a quaver for each syllable, leison. So that's straightforward. Mark the rhythm there, makes the rhythm clear. In the places where he doesn't do that, for example, the fifth bar after letter A, you sing on the bit of liaison, liaison, and just go E before you sing zon. Liaison. And I can now go, I think, from letter A, and we'll get to the next set of entries and say something about those. So here is your D at letter A. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 2, 3, zon. Hold and off. Here's the solo. 2, 3. 1, 2. So there's your first set of entries. Now when we hear the Christe, which the soloist begins, don't forget that you need to sing in the fifth bar after Christe begins with the solo, you need to sing that alto line there. So that's a tutti. And then, of course, we go on to the next Christe. So here I am going from the soprano soloist on Christe. And 1 is the solo. 2 and that takes us up to letter C. Now at letter C we begin this series of entries, different voice parts in the choir, one after the other, altos coming in last in this case. Be aware of the semitone intervals in this passage. Quite often the music dips down the semitone and we worked on not going down too far. And then as that passage goes on, we begin to build up. We're building up really for quite a long time through this passage. So get that sense of building up. It's quite high in the alto part. In the score here I'm looking at page 6. It's quite high in the alto part. We're midway between C and D. So plenty of support there. And then we'll stop at letter D and just regroup. But to get this sense of building up through this section. So I'm going to start by playing from letter C. So you'll hear the basses, the tenors, the sopranos, and then I'll play the alto line. Letter C. 1, 2, and. Breath, support. 2, 3, 1, 2. And that takes us ready for letter D. The same thing happens after letter D, this sense of build. I'm saying to the other parts at 6 bars before letter E to be very careful about the rhythm. Now that doesn't actually apply to the alto part because I'm afraid you're stuck on one note, but that's actually important because it sustains the pedal note A while all the other parts are moving about. So don't feel that harmonically you're insignificant there. That will take us up to letter E, and we'll play on through there, where the things from the opening of the movement will apply because it's a reprise of that. So again, the way that you handle lays on. So I'm going to play now from letter D, and again I'll play the 4 bars of basses, then tenors and sopranos, and then when you come in on your G, I'll concentrate on your part alone. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, go. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 3. Hold and off. So always remembering to watch for that pause. And then we come to the section from letter F, and again watch the semitone intervals going down, don't make them too large. And in this passage, as you get towards the end of this passage, it's on the turn of the page I think, there's a sudden moment where everybody sings less, but I've just spotted altos that you don't sing anyway. Just be aware that as you go onto page 12, that's solo in the second bar. So if you are feeling left out where it's less, sorry, Haydn wrote it, not me, and then don't come in the solo part to make up. Okay, so let's go from letter F. So you've got 1 bar of the basses. 2 and. Sorry, I'm going to play that again. I won't stop the tape. Letter F. I just went off in the wrong direction. Here's the F. Solo, so we don't sing that part. And then our last set of entries is at letter G. And a very important warning about something that did happen in rehearsal. Don't come in early, don't come in on the bar of G itself, because the music makes you feel that you want to. But that's the orchestra, the accompaniment, and you come in the next bar, so be very ready for that. So I'm going to play from 3 bars before G in a moment. The other thing to remember that we rehearsed is in the middle of page 13 effectively. you go from a D to an F, and the F is piano. The second system on page 13 is piano. You sing forte on your held D, and then suddenly a piano just for 2 bars and 1 beat, and then you're back to forte to end the movement. So here we are, 3 bars before letter G. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, piano. Forte. 2, 3's on, off. And if you feel comfortable with that, you can now move on to the video where I play all the parts and the accompaniment in between.